because I forgot. What's up, Lil Androids? SonicFanGal here. And in the last video I said that I like night driving. Well, here I am, night driving. So I'm gonna make a short little video and just go from there. Yeah, so you guys get to just basically watch me drive. So I was gonna start talking about writer's block. If nobody knows what writer's block is, you're not a writer. So writer's block is basically where you have ideas, but you can't touch them. You can't write them. Why? Because your brain is all kerfuffled with a bunch of other thoughts. And I've been having that issue a lot here lately as a writer. It is awful. So what do I do with writer's block? Well, there's a lot of things I can do. But first, if you don't mind subscribing, as I am trying to get to 300 subs, that would be great. So writer's block is a bit hard to get in touch with and to get out of, because if you're not careful, you could fall into it and it just will not stop. So what do I do usually is I can either make little notes on certain chapters, like in this chapter so-and-so is going to do this, or so-and-so's this, whatever. It has seemed to help me a little bit. Also, try to calm your mind, as it really is hard to, write a book, especially when you don't have all the chapters ahead. See, with me, I always like to try to write ahead. That way I don't have to worry about it. And I don't have to worry about, all these chapters messing up or looking bad. Also, read back on some of your previous works. You might get an idea. That's at least what I do anyway. I don't know about other people. For me, that's just some of the things that I do. So, with writer's block, it's really hard to explain sometimes, especially if you've been trying to write and maybe you've got a depression spell, maybe you've been discouraged, maybe you just don't feel the same way about the story as you once did. And there's a way that you can fall back in love with that. With me, some of my books like RainDrop that I finally completed back in October, sometime around there, it was hard for me to get back in touch. It was hard for me to, keep going because I was kind of running out of ideas. And I was already going through like a lot of writer's block. So what I did was I looked at the story that originally inspired me to make it, called The Girl in the Rain. That was a creepypasta. And I just listened to it. I was kind of I don't remember if I was in college when I wrote that or I wasn't. But it was my first story that I ever published. I still have a bunch of stories in my draft. And I currently have a project that I'm currently trying to work on. And I don't want anybody to see it yet. Barely a few people know about it. So, there's a lot about writer's block. And one of the biggest cures for me, like one of the cures that I had through it, was just try to get inspired again by maybe some aesthetic, maybe some images that relate to your story, like RainDrop, for example. When I went to was water for an aesthetic, or raindrops, water, something like that. Even the rain or storm, so like if it was storming outside, I'd go outside and sit there because that was the main premise. I currently have writer's block with a lot of stories right now, and some of them I need to get done. So, like I said, write ahead. Like if you know that you're going to have a depression spell, or you know that, you're about to get into some dark space or whatever, try to write ahead. Write chapters ahead if you have to. You can edit them. You can always edit a story. There's nothing wrong with that. Like for me, for example, every time, like I post on days, like that's when I post chapters, is on certain days. like on RainDrop today even, I always go to that chapter. I make sure, you know, everything looks okay, there's no spelling or grammar error. I then edit it the best that I can, and I just upload it and hope for the best. I don't have a lot of people reading my books. So far, my Your Boyfriend fanfic has been the most popular. And it's weird because it's about a gray man, a little gray bald man. I just hope my real project gets popular. So, it's just a short little video about writer's block, about, you know, a ton of stuff about it. Like, I get writer's block, especially back in college, like, I got it really bad. And if some of you are in college or high school right now, which I know a lot of Wattpadders are in school, obviously, try to keep your priorities. Like, you know, you still want to go to school, you still want to make good grades, just be careful. That's really all you can do. So, I guess that's pretty much it. I try to be straightforward and to the point as much as I can. And I also just kind of wanted to drive. I don't know why. I like going for small drives to do stuff. Like, just drive around, think, clear my head. And, you know, if you can drive, like if you have a license and, you know, you're good and well enough to drive, go for a drive. You may find that, you know, a lot of therapy happens when you do that. So, with that being said, I guess I'm going to jump off here because that's pretty much all this video is about. It's just writer's block. So, if you liked the video and think my tips were good and my cure was good, hit the like button. Also, be sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 300 subs. Come on, let's get up there. And also check out my other channels, my other pages, as I do have more. Also, be sure you check out my books on Wattpad, right there. Some stories are actually about to wrap up. One of them is. And I've got a big project coming up that I'm still not going to talk about just yet. But I will give you a hint. It is Sonic related. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So remember, this isn't goodbye forever. It's just goodbye for now. I love you, Lil Androids, and God bless. Bye.